I was speaking with a friend the other day. I mentioned to Angela and Dale a moment ago that there was a moment like I was just like, what is non-duality? I don't know. And he said, just be yourself. Because we can't turn something into a thing, you know, as soon as we turn something into a thing, it's like the living quality of it disappears. We're not here to talk intellectual, and you can Google non-duality all you want. Right? That's not the purpose of spirituality, true spirituality. It's a living remembrance of our true nature, right? So where does non-duality come from? The premise. It's just erasing an imaginary line between yourself and everything else. And then within yourself, making peace with all the parts inside of you that don't feel like they belong, that they're a part of this great whole, part of divine intelligence. Anything that makes you feel divided inside is duality manifested. So within non-duality, the truth of non-duality is duality. Duality exists, meaning I'm here in this chair and you're there and yours, right? Real simple. There's a tree and there's a flower. I have a dog, maybe you have a dog or a cat. It's not the same dog or cat, right? We can't pretend that everything is just the same. A lot of people will go into the big camp of like everything is that to the point that there are no differences, and then they have to come back down into reality of the human and impermanent world of Mother Earth and see that there are infinite amounts of differences and how beautiful that is. But what is the same, right? That's the question. What is the same within it all? Always the primary question within this non-tradition of non-duality. I don't even put myself in any kind of box, by the way, and I hope you don't either. But it's the truth of there's something that's the same is throughout all traditions and for a very, very long time, thousands of years, that truth has been known consciously. And how do you know something consciously? Meaning that you're aware of it, is by knowing the difference, knowing what's not. So by knowing the opposite, oftentimes we know something. By knowing duality, we can enter into oneness consciously. If we were just born into oneness, meaning knowing ourselves as interconnected with the whole and never forgotten it, which wouldn't that be lovely, eh? But we wouldn't be here. This wouldn't be happening. There would be no spiritual search for the most part on that level. But we wouldn't know it. We wouldn't know that there was a loss of something. Without losing the sense of our interconnection, we wouldn't know that there was anything to remember. Kind of obvious stuff, right? I think I just speak obvious stuff because I want to be honest and, you know, not make it complicated. And strip things to their essence as much as possible. And still have something to say about it. So there's something kind of beautiful and unique that takes place when we forget our interconnection, which means we've forgotten our intrinsic nature, our own wholeness. And that beautiful thing is that it's beautiful and painful, both. But the beautiful part of it, maybe, is that we grow. And life is all about growth. Everything in existence is about evolution and growth. I use that word a lot because I think it's a beautiful word. It's a beautiful thing, evolution. Stars and planetary systems and our sun and this beautiful earth and us individually, collectively, are all in the process of growth and deepening, hopefully. Sometimes we go off track, you know, and then a species won't survive because they go off track. But here we are, remembering. I also like that word, remembering. Remembering doesn't mean that we find something anew, right? When we remember, we're remembering. That's your power. That's your personal power. You don't get remembering from somebody else. It can serve to be reminded. But remembering comes from within. You remember something about yourself. It lives within you, what you remember. That you are truly whole. You've never been divided. And that's just been an innocent misunderstanding created by mind, society, collective agreements. It's nice to call it an innocent misunderstanding. No blame, okay? It doesn't serve to have blame about it. Because if we make something wrong, then we're having to set that part right before we progress. Yeah, we can admit that something hurts. It hurts to be in misunderstanding. And that hurt, that pain is meant to help us remember, want to remember. Because if we weren't hurting about forgetting our essential nature and our connection to one another and to all life, we wouldn't be going on any journey, right? If there wasn't some pain. So pain is the growth impulse. So don't see pain as bad even. See if you can drop that, making pain wrong. Instead, see it as sort of that little tag in your shirt that's rubbing, saying something's here that wants to be removed and looked at.